It's no secret. Long droughts in desert regions make farming and raising livestock nearly impossible. Honestly, just surviving is a challenge. That's why most farmers in these areas struggle to make a stable living. But deep in the heart of the Kabuchi Desert in Inner Mongolia, there's a place that breaks all the rules. Dalad Banner. Instead of barren sand dunes, you'll find rabbits. Millions of them. These rabbits aren't just hopping around for fun. They're making people rich. So this is a story about how China let a bunch of rabbits loose in the desert and changed it forever. Hit that like button and let's dive into our story. Welcome to the vast Kabuchi Desert, China's 7th largest desert, stretching across a staggering 7,200 square miles. That's a whole lot of sand. But here's the twist. We're in northern China, where it doesn't just get hot, it gets freezing cold too. And right here, in the middle of this harsh landscape, a group of dedicated workers is waging an all-out war against the sand. For decades, fighting back against the encroaching sands has been a top priority here. And in 2024, the results spoke for themselves. Not only did the region hit its yearly goals for desert control and reforestation, but it shattered expectations, achieving 148% of its target. This means Inner Mongolia now has the country's largest forest area, about 59 million acres, and grasslands covering 45%, the highest level since 1990. In short, it's a beautiful sight. But what do rabbits have to do with it? The development of the Kabuchi Desert is really closely tied to rabbit farming. To be more precise, Rex rabbits. It all started with one local entrepreneur, a risk-taker with a bold idea. He invested his own money in willow saplings and encouraged others to plant them in the desert. Why willows? Well, they're tough, highly drought-resistant, valuable, and surprisingly well-suited for desert life. But here's the catch. After about 3 years, willows need special care, or their value plummets. And that's where the rabbits come in. Rex rabbits love munching on young willow shoots, keeping the trees healthy. Meanwhile, the thicker stems left behind, perfect for making paper and particle board. And the desert, it wins too, because these trees help stabilize the shifting sands. Like any plant, they help protect against wind and stabilize sand. Since willows have a very well-developed root system that can reach a length of over 328 feet, even one tree will securely hold the sand around it. The locals raise rabbits in the desert, but these aren't the domestic rabbits most people think of. These are Rex rabbits, and their distinctive feature is the fur, which feels like otter fur. Like other rabbits that are bred in large numbers, not as pets, they can be eaten. But the Rexes are mainly valued for their fur. Anyway, the fur is worth more than the meat. And for the rescue mission to fight desertification, these rabbits are perfect. Their reproductive rate is really high. So much so that many Chinese sources even mention the number as 25 times higher than other animals. Also, the dry desert climate is perfect for these rabbits. They feel super comfortable, which is why the Rex rabbits bred in the Kabuchi Desert have especially high-quality fur. Since we're talking about China, they have a zero-waste approach here. Some parts of rabbits are used in traditional medicine. Rabbit feces can be used as fertilizer, really great for desert land that you want to turn into fertile soil. The byproducts left from rabbits can also be used to feed minks, foxes, wolves, and other animals with economic value. Rex remains the #1 breed used for fur clothing and toys. But the meat of adult rabbits is also used for food, so the production is truly waste-free. Everything's put to use, even if, in general, this looks pretty sad from an animal protection perspective. Let's go back to changing the desert with rabbit power. Planting willows is necessary, but we can't fully rely on trees. We've got a combination of factors here. The high reproductive capacity of the Rex rabbit, the already planted willows, and the continuous breeding of animals. The key point is that Rex rabbit manure can produce biogas, and the leftover biogas can fertilize fields. This is part of the zero-waste system, and for the desert, it's literally vital. In other words, as this chain progressed, the sand gradually turned into fields where agricultural crops could be grown, and it happened almost on its own. This breed of rabbits has very low water needs, meaning Rex rabbits are relatively drought-resistant. They love eating hay and have a habit of gathering it. Also, Rex rabbits can't digest grass seeds and enjoy digging holes. The combination of these traits makes them the best grass producers in the desert. Check out how this works. The rabbit finds grass and eats it, digesting everything but the seeds. Then it poops in the desert, and the undigested seeds fall into the sand as fertilizer, which sprouts the next year. More grass, less sand. That's why the entrepreneur supported the locals in breeding Rex rabbits. This went on for at least 10 years, and during that time, the area was completely transformed. Gradually, the area planted with willows has exceeded 3 million acres. Over 1.2 million Rex rabbits are raised here, and more than 3 million of them are sold every year. The average annual income of farmers can reach $6,800 to $9,600. More than 10,000 farmers and herders, once poor, have practically struck it rich. As of July 2017, the number of Rex rabbits in Dalit Banner alone reached 4.5 million, and the total industry production was $76 million. Pretty serious amounts. No wonder rabbit breeding not only helps local farmers and herders escape poverty and get rich, but also attracts migrant workers. When farmers come here, all they need to do is invest between $2,700 and $4,100 to buy breeding rabbits in cages for them. That's it. Nothing else is needed for breeding. Other businesses will just support them. In each family, the income can reach $13,000. Believe it or not, rabbits aren't the first time China has turned to animals to solve a major problem. Back in 2020, when Pakistan was facing a devastating locust invasion, rumors spread that China had sent in its army of ducks to help. Although those reports were later denied, the idea of a duck army is still fascinating, because honestly, it works. 20 years ago, ducks became a surprising weapon in the fight against locusts. In the year 2000, in Xinjiang, China sent in a literal army of 700,000 ducks and chickens with a singular mission: to eat their way through the locust swarms that had already destroyed over 9 million acres of crops and pastures. So why ducks? Well, it turns out that ducks are way better than chickens at munching on pests. One duck can gobble up over 200 locusts a day. That's about 3 times more than a chicken. Plus, ducks like to stay in groups, making them easier to manage than chickens. If you've ever tried to herd chickens, you'll know exactly what I mean. But if ducks were so successful in China, why didn't they get sent to Pakistan? The answer is simple. Ducks need water to survive, and in Pakistan's scorching desert regions, it's just too hot for them. They wouldn't have made it. So, do you think there are animals in the United States that could help solve some of the problems we face? Maybe beavers for flood control, or goats for clearing invasive plants? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear your ideas. And before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun and fascinating content. See you next time.